Hey, welcome to Ask Arminda. First, before we get to the meat of what we're going to be discussing today, first this interlude. Do you guys see this? It's even shimmery shiny like this intergalactic paint that was used. Yeah, Grayson Fisher painted this in an evening, over an hour or two. Yeah, pretty amazing. Let me let you see that. He donated this for a silent auction that is coming up to raise funds for a really worthy cause. And so he donated his talents to raise money for that. And I just wanted to show it off because I think it's amazing, and he's a really talented young man. And it's Han Solo, and the Star Wars movie is coming out. Oh, all the exciting. Okay, so now down to what we're really going to talk about: service. Service is like, painting something like Han Solo and donating it. That's service. Versus self-sacrifice, which is feeling obligated to do something and you do it anyway. And you call it service, but really you resent the fact that you've done it. That's pretty much the distinction right there. And I could just click done, but let's peel that apart just a little bit to be sure that we're clear, because it's an important distinction. Many of us go along and we think that we're serving because we know that service is a good thing. So we've culturally been taught that you should serve because that's a good thing. And really what we're doing is self-sacrificing. But we keep doing it because we've been told, oh, serving is really good and it's really important. So keep doing it. And then what happens over time is that there's this rift that gets created, that kind of, this big canyon, and we're just filling it with resentment for the very people that we're supposedly serving, but really we're self-sacrificing for or on behalf of or in order to please those people or that person or that organization or that boss or that charitable event or the neighborhood botanical society. It's all encompassing. So if you're feeling any of that, feeling that pressure and that obligation and that overwhelm when it comes to the way that you are serving, then that's an indicator that you're not actually serving. You are self-sacrificing. And we want to put a hard stop on that, reel ourselves back in and do some evaluation and say, okay, what am I doing and why am I doing this? And that someone else might be benefiting from what I'm doing, but if I'm feeling that way, then it really isn't service. So service, I like to make the distinction, service involves me. Service involves me having a really good time. Service involves me having fun, and I'm still helping and benefiting somebody else. It means that I get to include myself in the process, in the decision, in the solution itself. I'm part of that. This is really important in our professional lives. When we have a client relationship, when we have clients are internal as well, so there's the relationship between you and your boss, you and the company, you and your customers, you and your vendors. All of those different relationships we think that they're service-based. We want them to be service-based. I want you to have them be service-based. What happens often is that we drift over the line away from service into self-sacrifice. So this looks a lot of times like I'm spending way too many hours at work. This looks like clients who now have your cell number and are saying, hey, I need this, and we feel obligated because the customer's always right, and we're giving to them, we're giving, and now we're starting to resent how much time we're spending on. So you see where it can get kind of muddied up in there, and what we want to be sure that everything we're giving is purposeful, is with the right intent, and that we don't lose ourselves in that intention. Because when you're not taking care of yourself, all sorts of other things kind of crop up and become problematic. And I keep using this word today, but the resentment, that seems to be a big one. Or we get frustrated easily, or angry, or offended at other people, or at a job, or at a comment that someone has made, and we think, oh, man, I've done all that stuff for them and this is how they treat me. So those are all indicators for you. Those are all the red flags that says, well, probably you're not serving, you're self-sacrificing. So this would be a wonderful opportunity to slow down and spend a little time with yourself and really reevaluate what would be meaningful for you. How would you like to continue? What would be ideal for you? What would that look like? What would this relationship look like? What would this contract look like? What would this job look like? What would my family look like if I was actually serving them and not sacrificing everything of myself because I feel obligated, or I feel like that's my job as the mom or as the dad? So if we can really shift the way we see ourselves in relation to others and to projects, I promise it will make a huge difference. And let me know. So that's my fast take on the difference between serving and self-sacrificing. So excited. Okay, let me know what additional questions, comments, thoughts, feedback you have for me, coach@armindalindsay.com.